Okay, what is going on, my smart hearts? Those who are coming in later on, those who are joining me live, what's going on with y'all? Come on in. As you're coming in, whether you're live or not, make sure that you comment below. Let me know where you're coming from, like what area of the country, what area of the world you're from. Just let me know that real quick, just so I get a sense of my audience a little bit more. I want to get to know you guys as I'm getting to open up, as I'm gonna do in this video. So today, what are we gonna be talking about, man? I am excited. Make sure I got my audio right. Hold up. Okay, hold up. Should be good now. All right, back. Cool. So my audio's good now. So today we're gonna be talking about an interesting topic. We're gonna be talking about how do good guys go from being good guys to turning bad guys. Now, we're going to talk about this from the perspective of me. And honestly, I wouldn't consider myself ever going totally to the dark side. I might have crept, did a little shadow work, a little here and there, and a little touch there. But I don't think I fully went all the way down to the dark side. You know what I mean? But I do know a lot of fellas, and I've noticed a lot of men lately that have either given up on the way that they look at relationships when it comes to women or relationships altogether. And that doesn't mean that they're necessarily doing negative things, but then there are also those other men that are doing the negative things when it comes to manipulating people, lying, kind of deceiving those who they're interacting with, all that good stuff. So we got to talk about how did they get there. So I'm going to use myself as an example, and then we're going to go from there. All right, so first off, for me, I grew up actually wanting to be a husband or wanting to be like a good guy to a woman that I would love and cherish and all this other good stuff, So on the opposite end of the Disney fairy tale. Hold on, I gotta get this out of my throat. Hold on. What the hell? Oh, there we go. That's much better. All right, thank you for bearing with me. So yeah, from the beginning, from the jump, basically for me, I always looked at that as like a badge of honor, like somebody who was reliable, dependable, somebody that was a protector. That's good to me, at least. So that's the way I looked at things. Starting from there, going and fast forwarding to the first girl that I met or had a crush on, I had developed quick feelings and basically become infatuated with this girl at like 4 or 5 years old. We're talking kindergarten. We're talking very young age. I had no idea what like love actually was, but I knew I had strong feelings of affection. And that at that time manifested in me developing this big crush on this girl. So I'm going to tell the story about one girl in particular, not the first girl I ever met in kindergarten. We're going to go through those later, but I'm going to tell the one story that really shaped me. And this was my last ex-girlfriend. Definitely got to take a sip for this one. Because this story is wild, y'all. This is the story that really shaped a lot of the way I saw relationships and why I continue to try to educate people and make them smart about the relationships. So picture me being good guy all the way from when I met that first girl in kindergarten up until I meet my last recent ex. So we met in college. Things were going well. And then what happened was the dreaded long distance relationship. And I've talked about this in some of my videos, y'all. Man, let me tell you. Long distance relationships are not for those who are not built to last. Like if you are not really built for this relationship thing, if you just trying to like figure it out, dip your toe, I do not suggest a long distance relationship. That thing is hard. So we were 2 years into our relationship. in undergrad, and I left for grad school. And there was a moment when I was in grad school, about to go off to grad school. I think a lot of people have these moments. Like, it's almost an internal monologue, an internal level of vulnerability that we want to be real with ourselves, but we can't because we're still trying to develop who we are. And I know there's a lot of people who may be watching, past or present, who are in college or even in transitional phases in their lives where they're like, who exactly am I and who am I trying to be? Who am I aspiring to be? You know what I mean? And sometimes those two versions of yourselves clash. And when they clash and there's somebody that you love within the mix, man, it gets messy. So, in this moment, these two parts of me are talking. I remember this moment so vividly. And potentially, my ex could be watching this, just so y'all know. If it is true, what's up? I ain't gonna say your name. Hope you're doing well. One part of me, the current part, the current Onaje Smartt of Smartt Love, who was like, I have to hold on to this commitment. I made a commitment to this woman. I want to make sure that I hold on to it. I don't give a damn. Distance? Distance? Distance ain't got nothing on me. I got this. I am Mr. Romantic. I am Mr. Commitment. I've been built for this. I've been training for this. I got this. I will be faithful. I will be loyal. I will be able to spend time with her. I will organize schedules. I will do everything. I will move heaven and earth if it means that representation, that idea that I held high in such high regard of me being a good guy, if that good guy can just stay intact, I'll do whatever. That's one part. Other part. Hey, yeah. Y'all at you real quick. Inner self. Y'all ever seen Insecure? This would be the point where Issa's talking to herself in the mirror. I'm having this internal dialogue with myself. All right, this is that time. So my other part is telling me like, yo, been in a relationship for 2 years. Long distance? Have you ever been in a long distance relationship? I talk back. Nah, I haven't really. But fuck all that. It don't matter. It don't matter. I gotta do what I gotta do. You know, I have to be sure that I'm good. I gotta uphold this image. I gotta be the good guy. I gotta be the good guy. The good guys don't give up on a relationship. No, I can't. Other side talks back. I mean, all right, that's cool. I guess you could do that. But yo, you're about to be in grad school. That's a lot of work. And a lot of people, even some of your professors, have warned you that the caseload is going to be super heavy. You're not even going to be dealing with the weight of other people's relationships, but the weight of your own. Are you going to be able to handle that? My other side starts listening. A little bit quieter, starts responding like, damn, that's another good point. Almost like, he good. You in my head? Yes, I am. It's one of those conversations I'm having, a tug of war in my head. It's literally going out inside of me. These two sides fighting it off. So it's like, damn, that was a good point. But no, I have to, a little bit softer now. I have to sustain this good guy image that I have. Not as boisterous as it was before, this side. Other side starts to get a little louder. Come on, man, yo. You know this is over. Forcefully. You know this is over. You can't be with this girl. You are moving on to other things. And maybe right now, if you save and salvage the connection that you have right now, it won't turn sour later on. And that point that I knew was in my head, that one hit. But still, this idea, this image, this identity that I was holding on to of being the good guy, I just couldn't let it go. No, it was too important to me and what I was wrapping myself around. So for me, and why I need to separate those identities and move on is because I almost tied helping each other or helping people, couples, relationships, what I'm doing now basically on this channel. I tied that into my own personal relationships as well. So almost as if I failed in a personal relationship while I was doing this work, I was delegitimizing my own work. Like, how can you be a couples therapist if you can't, handle your own relationship? Or how can you say you're studying for something if you can't even execute what you're studying? So I thought about those things, and I held those two things in I guess like synchronicity. They were tied together. It was like almost unbreakable. So as long as I was studying to help couples and to help people to become better at connecting and in relationships, I was stuck with someone who I was disconnecting with and who I needed to grow away from, but I was still holding on to. So that's what was going on for me during grad school. Story gets juicier. All right, another sip of water. I'll be right back. How y'all doing in there? Past and present. If you're watching this later, let me know. Comment below. Don't be shy. Am I, can you relate to any of the things I'm talking about? Are you entertained? Let me know in the comments below. And hit that like button. It don't hurt nobody. It's free. Come on, hit it. All right, back to it. So, those were the conflicting parts of my head the day before I headed off to Chicago to go to grad school. So, I didn't listen to that one part. I obviously listened to this part of me that was like, no, my identity, I'm a good guy. And I told her that. So she's going into this with the understanding that I'm going to be exactly who I said I would be in Chicago. Fast forward to Chicago, and a lot of stuff happened. I got introduced to my cohort, a bunch of beautiful young women who were just super intelligent and all that other stuff. And it wasn't that I was falling for all of them. There were some that were definitely attractive, but it wasn't that it was necessarily them. That was the reason why my relationship went downhill. It was that core tying that I was talking about, that I was still holding on to. But I'm meeting these women, and I'm going out to bars and clubs just because, sometimes you got to let off steam because you are in grad school trying to study relationships, and you're, listening to some of the most traumatic things or sad stories, or having to, just be present and empathetic with people who are suffering on a weekly basis while studying to do the same at a higher level. It's a very difficult process. I can't say that it's for the weak of heart. Literally, you got to guard your heart while you're doing it, which I didn't do that great of a job of. Which brings me to my next point. The long distance was killing me. Now, we were studying about love languages around this time, right? Ironically, we were studying about love languages, and I was learning about this and communication and infidelity and all these topics, and I was just bringing these things with an exciting tone of voice and an exciting demeanor, like, yo, what I'm learning is this, what I'm learning is that, blah, blah, blah. And my ex now, and at the time my girlfriend, wasn't necessarily trying to hear that. For her, ironically, and this is my interpretation, obviously I don't know what she thinks. My interpretation of it is, for her, she thought of our relationship as something that needed to be organic and something that was worked on without any necessary ties to what actually separated us, which was my education in grad school. So everything that I was bringing from the knowledge from grad school, bringing to her attention in terms of trying to better our relationship. So if I'm saying, yo, I just learned this new communication exercise, let's try that out, it was seen as inauthentic or somewhat trying to make the relationship. I honestly don't know exactly the way I would put it, but that's the way it was. So every time I would bring something up, she would kind of like shoot it down. I'm like, yo, we're trying to communicate. What's going on? Like, can we do this little exercise that I learned in grad school as I was trying to become a couples therapist? She's like, nah, I just want us to be able to work and just talk it out. We should be able to just talk. We should just be able to. There's a lot of shoulds and would-haves. And I feel like she wanted the connection from the long distance space to feel the same as it did when we were close. And I felt the same way. Who wouldn't want to feel connected to somebody who they were with presently almost all the time? But it was just a different situation at that time. So fast forward, and I won't go through too many details just in case. I'm trying to make sure I keep it anonymous. But if you know, you know. So fast forward, there was a guy that she was talking to. And we would visit, I would visit her in Virginia every once in a while, probably like 2 to 3 times out of the year, out of the year when I first left. And when it came to me visiting her, right, I noticed that she was interacting with an old flame that she had way back, back when she was a freshman, I believe, even prior to like pre-college days. So she's interacting with this guy from the past who I know doesn't necessarily have the best past in terms of treating women in the best way. So he would be the bad guy, quote unquote, when it comes to this situation. But I knew there was still a connection between them. And my understanding now is they had a kind of trauma bond between the two of them where they would bond over the fact that they were going through some things similarly, but not necessarily healing. So that's the difference between having a partner that's like growing with you, you're healing, you're developing, you're growing, versus somebody who's just like, man, that was fucked up, right? Yeah, that was fucked up. Yeah, fuck them. Yeah, fuck them. And then y'all just stay there and y'all keep doing that. That was fucked up again, right? Yeah, that was fucked up. Yeah, fuck them. Yeah, fuck them. That's how that goes. So I think they had more of that relationship. But again, that might have been very cathartic and healing for her at that time. And obviously very present for her at that time. Whereas I was very absent learning all these things, the very things that was taking time away from her was me learning how to become a better relationship expert, but not very present in my own. It's a very ironic time. So she's talking to this dude, and I get this feeling, like, who's this dude that you're talking to? So I sent a text to her. I'm like, are you talking to so-and-so again? I almost flipped up and said his name. Woo! Yo, that would have been bad. Anonymous, I'm asking her what's going on with Anonymous. Yeah, yo, what's going on with Anonymous? What's up with him? And she denies. She says, yeah, we were just talking a little bit. And then, I did the thing that I say to never do on my content. I looked through her phone. Why? Never look through your partner's phone. The second that you're looking through your partner's phone, you're basically saying, yo, I don't trust you. This relationship's pretty much over anyway. Which it was, right? I was prolonging it, though. Very much so. So we go into the iPhone. This is like 2014, 13, 14. So, I go through the iPhone and I search, because that's how you do it. You search. Why am I giving y'all tips on how to do this? But anyways, if you know how to do this, you've probably done it already. Anyways, I'm gonna just describe the story. Ignore this part. Don't learn any tips. This is good education. I'll just go ahead with the story. Anyways, I searched sex because that's one of the buzzwords. You got what's going on with that? Sex. Certain other buzzwords. And I'm like, what y'all talking about? Other words. But I ain't really need to do much because sex popped up and I saw all this other stuff. So basically, they were talking about a previous sexual experience that they were having and how good it was. Now, I couldn't tell if this was in the past, like before we were together, or in the past, like a week ago before my flight got here. You know what I mean? So I had to break it down. I asked her, all interrogation like, so what's up with you and Anonymous? She's like, oh, nothing. He came by, whatever. You're like, we talk sometimes. So you never did anything with him? Because she didn't admit to doing anything with him at all, even in the past. So I wanted to see if she would even lie about that, to see if it was in the past. And she lied. She lied her ass off. And then I was like, well, what's this? Brought out the phone, incriminating myself. So then she's like, why are you going through my phone? You already know how that goes. But I'm not trying to hear that. I'm like, Fuck that. You can't just flip this on me. What you mean? What you doing? What are you? I put the phone all over her face. What are you doing with this going on here? What's up with this, with the sex and the whatnot? What's up with that and old boy anonymous? So she admits to it after a while and comes clean and says, okay, we did have sex back then before we were together though. So it don't count. And I'm sorry, I should have told you earlier. In retrospect, I can't fully say this 100% because nothing's 100%. But her ass was lying. Her ass was lying. That was from like a week ago or 2 seconds ago or whatever ago. Like before I got there, they was probably getting it in the whole time. But I, again, will never know that. I digress. It doesn't really matter. Fast forward, I say I forgive her. I really don't. I'm harboring all these intense feelings of conflict as I'm flying back. But I'm trying to work it out. Because again, what's most important to me at this time is holding on to that identity of I'm a good guy. I'm a good guy. I'm going to stick through this. I'm going to get through this. I'm going to make sure that we good because I'm a good guy. Good guys don't quit on their women that they're with. No, this is forever. We're going to get married one day, right? Right? Anyways, if this was chapters, this is chapter 3. We did 1, the move. 2, the first hiccup. 3, the big hiccup. Hiccups. We was hicking up. Like we was going crazy. So this is around 2014 for sure. This is around like my second year into grad school. I've got to know all my cohort. We're like really bonding. We're going out more. We're chilling. We get drunk, but we're having deep ass conversations while we do it. Love my cohort, man. I gotta actually reach out to them more often. I'm so busy, anyways. But there was a time when we went out. I don't know if I was with my cohort or not at that time of the night, but there was a time when I went on with this girl, and we almost. I'll tell you what happened. All right, I ain't gonna lie. You know what? I said I was gonna be honest. I'm gonna tell you what happened. Don't be judging me. I see y'all. I can feel y'all judging on me. I feel the eyeballs from the screen. Okay, so I'll be real. Just give me a second. Give me a second. All right, so what had happened was she slept with her. Huh? What? Okay, I had slept with her. But I had slept with her. I had like slept with her. You know what I'm saying? Basically, we were drunk, but more sober than neither of us wanted to admit. So we slept in the bed together, but nothing happened. Like we were like cuddled up, and maybe there were less clothes than desirable for my ex at the time, my girlfriend. She probably would have liked it if we had more clothes on at the time while we were sleeping in the bed together. Probably would have liked it if we weren't sleeping in the bed together all together. But I digress. Let's move on. Let's move on to what she did. Anyways. Now, I joke. I'm doing this a lot. This is just for entertainment, to be real. I've actually come to terms with it. I'm being honest about it. I definitely did all that, and that was wrong. That was a betrayal on my end. It's something that I look back on. I'm glad I didn't follow through and go all the way, because I think there was definitely some opening where we were on the same page, but we were hesitating, and both of us were trying to like read each other. We're like, yo, we gonna do this, or we gonna just fall asleep, pass out, because we could just cuddle. And we went that route, but I could have easily saw it going a different way if my mind wasn't like still on that solidified, gotta be a good guy thing. But what was interesting for me was at the time of the experience, just the raw experience, the exchange of like energy and good vibrations, I wasn't even concerned with that part. That part of me was out the window, which was very interesting for me. But when I got into the moment when it was like, I thought the breach of that line would be crossed, which was actually, penetration, having sex, I couldn't do it. But that was that. So, fast forward, riddled with guilt, the good guy that I am, my dumb ass admits it. Oh, what? No, I'm just kidding. It was stupid though. So I'll go over here and I go over and admit the fact that, yo, kind of slept in the bed. Kind of like how I explained the first time. I was like, kind of slept in the bed with the girl. Clothes off. We ain't do nothing though. We just like really close, cuddling, almost, but kind of kiss a little bit. No, we didn't kiss actually. We didn't kiss. But needless to say, she was not happy about the fact that I was sleeping in the bed with another person. But man, did the surprise I had, it paled in comparison to the surprise she had for me coming on later. I'll tell you, I'm gonna get to it. But as I told her, she revealed some deep, personal things that I really don't want to get too much into, but she experienced a very traumatic experience. And for me, it threw me. I had two sides again, so I'll go into my two sides. One side of me was like, yo, you've been cheating on me too, like this whole time. And now you're bringing up this traumatic experience in order to make it seem as though you're the victim and I'm the villain. That's fucked up, yo. You did something too. You were doing stuff. It wasn't just me. That's one side. The other side is like, yo, shut the fuck up. She just went through something traumatic. Or she's remembering something that happened that was traumatic. You need to be there for her as a good boyfriend. You gotta be good. You gotta be good. So these two sides are fighting off again. And I'm like, in the middle, torn. One is kind of looking out for me and my emotions, and the other is looking out for her and looking out for our identity as the good guy. So it's like, what the fuck? I'm struggling between these two sides again. Which side of me is going to win this time? I don't know. Guess which one won? Go ahead, put it in the comments below if you know. I'll wait about 2 seconds because I'm impatient. If you didn't know, it was the identity side, the one that was protecting my identity, which is why I always stress knowing yourself, loving yourself. It's the key to good relationships. But I digress. Let's move forward. We try to repair things. We talk it out. The side of me that wanted to be the good guy and console and try to make sure things were good tries to mend things. I try to do little things like send her favorite movies out to her on DVD because I know like it'll be a bigger gesture than just like, us going to watch it on Redbox. So I send her all the stuff that I know we're going to watch as soon as I get over there. I send her like jewelry, little things. Fun fact, man. Fun fact. This is amazing. The logo for Smartt Love, which I love and cherish, is actually one of the necklaces that I bought her. It's shaped similarly. It's a very similar shape to it. And I found that online as the logo. And I didn't realize that that was the logo, the shape of the necklace that I got her at the time until like months after. And I was like, damn, that's just a coincidence. So just a fun fact right there. But buying her a necklace and all this other good stuff. Consoling and trying to mend this thing, even though she also was doing stuff. And she apparently did do some things when it came to fully going in when it comes to the sexual experience. She was fully immersed. Let's put it like that. I was sketching. I was in like black or white. She was in full HD, almost damn near 3D feeling bodysuit. That's what her experience was like. I was over here black and white. I ain't mad though. I ain't mad. I should have. Anyways, let's move on. So anyways, I'm trying to mend all this stuff. And then what happens? I said, yo, I got a good idea. I'm going to really surprise her. I'm going to surprise her and I'm going to make everything work. I'm going to surprise her with a trip out of nowhere. I'm going to fly down to VA and you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to come in with flowers in hand and then she'll come up and we'll hug and we'll love on each other and everything will be great. But then a part of me was like, yeah, what if, seriously, what if She's with an old boy down there. Two parts of me struggling again. Part of me that wants to be a good guy. Oh, you gonna let that? How are you gonna let something like that talk you out of going? You gotta be the best guy that you can be, despite whatever anybody else is doing. You gotta be you. Logical, looking out for me side is like, man, get the fuck out of here. What are you talking about, dude? You gotta be able to stand up for yourself and take consideration for what's going on for you and whether or not this is the best situation for you. Should you be spending this money doing that? Should you do that when you can invest things in other areas? And do you really want to be in this relationship in the first place? This side's talking loud as motherfucker right now. And it's like, damn, I don't know. Two sides conflicted. Which side wins? Boom. The side that's holding up my identity, that wants to be the good guy. Why? I hold that deal to my heart. I love that identity more than I love myself at this point. Woo, that's a bar. Sometimes I say things, I'm like, man, I gotta write this down. This is all from my book at some point. I'll be writing my story. But yeah, my identity part wins. So what do? I fly down to VA. Even with this churning in my stomach of feeling like, man, I don't know, something ain't right. But we're supposed to be on good terms. We're mending stuff. We ain't like this, but we like, we trying. We trying, doing something. All right. Fly down. Got the flowers, got everything. Pull up in the Uber. Acting like it's something fancy. Pull up to her apartment. Knock on her door. Roommate comes through. She's like, oh my gosh, what are you doing here? I'm here to surprise her. You know where she is? Oh, no, I don't know where she's at. Roommate got a little look on her face. I'm like, yo, what's up? Because usually, me and her roommate used to be super cool. So usually she's like, oh my gosh, how you doing? Oh my God. I'm like, all right, calm down. You know what I mean? She's one of those people who's very energetic. So I'm like, right now she kind of like chill. So I'm like, what's up with that? That churning feeling in my stomach. I'm like, fuck, yo, am I right? Is she with this dude right now as I'm about to surprise her, as I just flew from Chicago to VA to surprise her with flowers and have all this spectacular date night bullshit lined up? Is she about to really be with this dude? I'm like, yo, nah. Identity part kicks in. It doesn't matter. You're being a good guy. And even if that was the case, you'll be able to show her different. Other part of me is talking like, what is wrong with this dude? Let that shit go. Two sides conflicting. Guess which one wins? Say it with me now. You already know the part that holds that identity. I gotta be a good guy. We continue. So I set up. I'm still setting shit up. After I done witnessed the roommate giving me the shady shit, I still say, where's her room? Let me set stuff up. Set stuff up in her room. Get the flowers set up, make up the bed or whatever, make sure things cool. Set the scene. I gotta make it romantic. I just surprise my girl from a flight from Chicago to VA to surprise her, right? As I'm doing stuff, moving stuff around. What's that? What's that? And I swear, I knew what it was, but those two sides came up popping up again. And I don't know, this internal monologue of mine, this internal feelings of mine. I always have this sense of myself, even if I'm struggling to figure out where I want to go when it comes to my identity. I have that sense of at least that struggle. The side of me that wants to be a nice guy is like, don't look at it. Just don't look at it. It's a privacy. It's a note. It's cool. It's out in the open, but it's a note. Don't look at it. Part of me that's looking out for me is like, don't look at it. Don't look at it. Are you crazy? Look, you came all the way down here. If there's something on that note that that says what you feel it says, you need to read that shit. For the first time, this side crumbled. He had full control. And he went in. He said, Hand me that goddamn note. He was like, let me look at this shit. Scanning that shit. I swear that shit slowed down. My shit, heart sped up. I was like, are you every word? I was like, fuck. It was a love ass note saying to her that she was trying to figure stuff out with me. She, my girlfriend at the time, was trying to figure shit out with me and was making sure that she was putting this nigga on notice like, oh, let me make sure that you know that I'm trying to work shit out with him so that maybe we could be together. I was like, oh, shit. God damn, that hurt. Really did, yo. So as I'm reading it, it just comes to a head. I'm just like, damn. But you know what hurt the most? And I know this might not come as a shock to any of the fellas watching, but it wasn't that she was talking about all that love stuff, honestly. It's that she mentioned in there the sex. And then the way that she said, when we first started, you knew this was only about the sex. But then my feelings developed more. You know, and after that part, you know, I kind of stopped reading. Not stop reading. Let me stop joking. I ain't stop reading. But the part that hit me was like, yo, this was an arrangement. This was clean cut. Almost like a contract. Like, yo, we gonna have fun. My dude's in grad school doing his thing, you know, so we gonna do what we gonna do. And, you know, we just gonna keep it like that. And then you develop feelings for him. And then because he's not feeling the exact same way, what happens? You write this letter that you're supposed to send to him. So I'm reading this shit, and you guys understand. I'm in her bedroom, found a note of all the incriminating evidence. Like, this shit laid out like a motherfucker. Ain't no more denying, like, oh, it happened in the past before I had met you. Oh, it happened like the third time. Oh, the fourth. If you carry one, no, it's right here. It's like you are caught. So I'm over here contemplating, damn near pacing up and down, like, what the fuck are you gonna do? What the fuck are you gonna do? You already know who's gonna pop up. Side number one, side number two, talking again. Side number one is like, okay, side number two is like, shut the fuck up. The side that was looking out for me was all in at that point. We like, what the fuck is going on? How did I become so goddamn, and I didn't know the word at the time, how did I become a goddamn simp? How did I become somebody that just could get taken advantage of like this? I started feeling like a fucking like a rage was coming in. I'm like, who does she think she is just playing me like this? I'm starting to get hot. I'm starting to get heated. I'm like, yo, what the? Trying to calm down. I'm like, you know what? I'm going to show her. You know what I'm going to do? Yeah, she thinks she can play me. I'm about to play her. This is what I'm going to do. I'm going to do the pettiest thing ever. I'm going to act like I don't see nothing. I'm going to have her come in. I'm going to act like everything's sweet. And I'm going to show her the letter. Throw that shit in her face. I thought about that shit in my head. I'm like, yeah, that would work. The other side of me is just fucking in the corner. The side of me that wanted to be the good guy, he's in the corner crying like, God damn, my dreams are shattered. You know what I mean? You can't do anything at this point. So it's all protection of me. That side of me is just all in at this point. So I wait. Text her. Yo, where you at? Oh, nowhere, chilling, lying like a motherfucker. Lying like a motherfucker. So she was lying her ass off. Definitely was with that dude. And then I'm like, oh, well, you know, let me know when you're down to talk. I got to talk to you about something important. Actually, can you talk right now? Just get home so we could talk. Where are you at? I know you're out. I want to talk about this in public. And she's like, oh, I'm really busy. I'm out right now. She's like, no, just for real. I really need to talk to you. This is seriously important. So I'll get back to you. So first of all, she ignored that. She didn't want to get back to me. Next thing that happened, she pulls up. I look down. She pulls up. She pulls up downstairs. Dude's car is right in the driver's in the parking lot. They're on the car, on the hood, hugged up, talking, doing the flirt. You know how it is, like back in the day when you had your whip and you with your girl and y'all just chopping it up and you just making her giggle right before she go upstairs. Y'all just had a good night. It was those vibes times 100. You just saw it. It was so like you probably said some slick shit like, yeah, now get your ass upstairs for it. Da, 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 da. Like, you ain't going da, da, da. I could almost have played the dialogue out in my head. I'm just like looking at this shit like, what the how the hell? It's cool. I'm gonna have my time. Sir Petty a lot is coming. Sir Petty is coming. So she opens the door, jang on her keys. Boosh, I come out. Hey, woo, with the flowers. Give her a hug. Oh, I love you so much. Play it all up. She's like, oh my gosh. She starts crying. You know what those tears were? They were guilt. She felt so bad because she knew I came all the way down there. And that gesture was dope. She was like, damn, this is like exactly what I wanted. This is romantic. This is a grand gesture. You took the time out. You showed effort. Fuck. And I was just, oh boy, but I can't say that or do anything. I probably still got his everything all over me, so I don't want to be on you. Fuck, I feel ashamed that I can't embrace this moment. I can't embrace this romantic moment because I kind of shattered it with the moments that I've had prior to. So she couldn't be in the moment with me. And it caused her to cry and kind of mourn for the connection, the reconnection olive branch that I was trying to offer. So as she was mourning, I was like, because I'm still all on protection mode. Like, fuck your mourning. Like, you don't get a chance to mourn. You about to get this work. So I pull out the note like, oh man, why are you crying? Why are you crying? Is it maybe because of this? And she was like, you know what I mean? All that drama shit. I'm like, yeah, And I was throwing the flowers at her. I'm like, see, all this grand BS just to be like, why'd you do this? What was going on? And then I found myself getting more emotional. And you know what happened? I realized that this part of me that was trying to protect me, again, took a back seat. And then the part of me that wanted to hold up this part, the part that was so hurt, came right back up. Came back up as a hurt little boy from back in the kindergarten. Back when he was around 4 or 5 years old and had his first crush. And it was like a rejection of me being a good guy because I tied it to a woman. And I tied it to a relationship. So I had to mourn that. And I was like, why? As if it was her fault that I tied my whole identity to her. So in retrospect, I'm laughing at it. But like, at the time, I'm like, the ugly ass. I had, not all of those, you know what I mean? But I had some of those. I ain't gonna lie. Low moments, fellas. Low moments. But we here now. So yeah, man, that's how that happened. So that, ladies, gentlemen, and all those in between, you know what I mean? They, them, my folks. But for real, that's what happened, y'all. Smart hearts, that's what happened. That is the story of how my heart got fucked up. And it was one of the most pivotal moments in my life when it came to shaping the way that I look at myself and what I hold value onto when it comes to relationship. So to make a long story a little bit shorter, after that, we went through a long on and off period, trying to work stuff out, me trying to forgive her, me trying to make sure that we were still okay, just on and off, fading into that abyss. It's like the slow death of a relationship. It's so painful. That's why I always suggest sometimes, if you know there's an incompatibility when it comes to your identity, there's things you need to work out, whatever else like that, sometimes it is better to just rip that Band-Aid off, break up, versus trying to drag it on and building resentment day by day. just building up the negative energy. It creates a toxic fucking tornado within the two of you that sustains itself after you leave each other. You know what I mean? It sucks. Literally, tornadoes sucks. Not good. But yeah, that's what happened after that. I would move on to graduate. We would finally actually break up after I had enough and there was enough space between us. And I chose myself. I chose a different identity. That's what happened. That's what really led to me breaking up. Choosing the identity, choosing to choose myself and to choose who I want to be outside of anyone else. That was the love that I got from myself. I gave myself that opportunity to love myself and love others through that, but love myself first so that that love can go through as pure as possible. And I don't have to worry about who I'm loving, how I'm loving in terms of like the way that I express myself. Is it will be all organic, it will be all safe, it will be all healthy because it's coming from a place of abundance and love from me. So that's what I learned. And that's, to me, what smart love is about. Loving yourself and then arming yourself with knowledge so that you don't make the same mistakes that you might have made in the past. Smart love. So that's my story, y'all. I will tell a little bit more of it and a little bit more about myself. But I wanted to give y'all the long version so that y'all can rewatch if you ever want to of how I became the man that I am, the therapist, the relationship coach, person that I am, and that sits before your camera today and makes funny shorts every day and tries to keep you guys both educated and entertained. So I'll catch you guys on the next video. Make sure you subscribe. I done did all this, got hoarse. You know what I mean? Help a brother out. Hit that like button, hit that subscribe button for your boy. I just poured my soul out. Damn, I can't get no likes. All right, y'all. My smart hearts, what's going on, y'all? I appreciate you for tapping in. All those who came into the live while you were with me, you know y'all ain't typed no comments. It's cool. We gonna get y'all to start talking. It's all good. All y'all who are coming in later, make sure you leave a comment. And if not, leave a like, please. And just tell me a little bit about yourself. I really want to get to know y'all because the next live, I'm asking y'all some questions. You know what I mean? I want to know what you want to know from me. I want to know if I can help you out. That's my goal. Next live. All right? Until then, my smart hearts. Peace and love.